Everybody. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Get Busy with Kit and Jim. Hope everyone's feeling awesome and amazing this morning. It's Tuesday. Yeah, Tuesday. Okay. We'll go with that. So today we're super excited. We're going to talk about the meaning of work-life balance and why should our life be balanced in the first place, especially as business professionals, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, and business people. So our guests this morning are Shannon Lemos and Godfrey. They're two working moms who know a whole heck of a lot about balancing work and family life. So these super moms are committed towards empowering others to own their passion, push past their comfort zones, and achieve their goals. Both they're living, yes, they are living, they're alive, and they're loving wives, they're proud moms, and they manage successful home-based businesses. They have a great understanding of how to become healthy and wealthy without sacrificing the family, and that's pretty important. Shannon and Anna co-host a podcast series called The Network Marketing Girls. They chat about leadership, personal growth, and other forward-thinking ideas. Their premise is simple. If you want to become a leader for others, you must first become a leader from within. You must dig deep, find your superpower without worrying about those stifling external, and I'm going to say internal, naysayers and that demoralizing internal fear. Okay, so everybody welcome Shannon and Anna, and of course my cohort in crime, Kit. Hey, Kit.
Hi.
How's it going?
I'm super excited. Actually, I'm doing all I can not to squeal because right now I want to go, oh my God, I have Shannon and Anna here. So, yeah, I'm really excited. They're two amazing, amazing women. I mean, they're two of my favorite people on this whole planet. So I'm like, I just want to dive in and just talk to them. So go ahead.
Okay. So let's do it. Let's start with Anna. So maybe Anna, welcome to Get Busy, your first edition of Get Busy. How are you this morning?
I'm great. Thanks so much for having me. I'm so excited.
So to get started, maybe just tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and what makes you tick. What gets you up in the morning?
Well, I'm Anna Godfrey, and I am from Michigan, so I am so excited to be here. I co-host a podcast called The Network Marketing Girls with Shannon Lemos, my partner in crime and internet BFF. We're like twins, so we pretty much think and say the same things, which is good. Which is good. It's all about duplication in what we do and networking with like-minded people. I am a mom of two. I have an 8-year-old daughter who thinks she's 16, and I have a 4-year-old who will take on the world just at 4. So, I mean, my girls are amazing, and I'd like to think that they're getting some of that from me. And I'm married. My husband does music, and he's able to be home with me because of my network marketing business. So we are very blessed with that. And he gets to do what he loves to do and be with his family. And I think that my family is the thing that keeps me up and at it each day. I get up and I do this business for my family to keep us, with shelter and food, and get my girls, out there into the world. And so, my family is a huge driver. So each day, I have to wake up, to get them to school and everything. And then I'm very focused on what I need to do for my business each day. I think a lot of it comes down to focus and knowing why you're doing it, because honestly, if you don't know why you're doing this business, you pretty much, you have no focus or motivation to do anything because you just don't know why you're doing it. So what's the point? So, I make sure I'm very organized with, knowing what I'm doing each day and actually doing it. I know we can all get tired, and we can all, life stuff happens. We all have those funks, but you know, we got to kind of jump that funk and focus and think about the end result, the future, and we always need to be forward thinking. So I hope that answers the question.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does, and welcome to Get Busy. So, Shannon, same question to you. But tell us a little bit about yourself and what is it besides coffee that gets you up in the morning?
It's the coffee. No. I'm very excited, first of all, to be here, so thanks for having me on. I'm from Cincinnati girl, and I have, like I said, a family as well. I've been married 14 years to my husband, and I have 3 boys who are my rock stars. Everything I do is for them and for their future, and they are what gets me, you know, they keep me ticking. My oldest is 7, the twins are 5, so it's busy here. It's really busy, and you know, I know part of the show is balancing, and it is, and my business is very important, but finding the balance and be able to maintain each and every area, you really have to organize, and that takes time, you know, but after you start doing it, it becomes repetition, and you know, I think you have to be able to change with it too. You have to be able to, you know, fluctuate and be able to, you know, juggle the strings a little bit to make everybody happy. So, like I said, I don't know if I answered that. It was a lot shorter than Anna, but we basically are like twins, that's for sure. So.
Oh, yeah, Shannon, that was perfect. That was a great answer. Thank you so much. I want to, usually on Get Busy, which one of the things we try to do towards the beginning is really get to know our guests kind of at a deeper level. So I want to know from each one of you, what, as you were growing up, what inspired, what were some of your inspirations growing up, and was there a specific challenge that you faced that really might have even been a life-transforming type of a challenge as you were growing up? And whoever wants to go first, jump right in.
I'll go first. Well, you know, I think that I am very inspired and motivated by my mother. You know, my mother had, she raised 5 of us by herself. I was a late in life child, and I had a different dad, and I have 2 older brothers and 2 older sisters. So, you know, my dad wasn't the greatest guy. I'll just put that out there. You know, it was the best thing he ever did for us was leave, and you know, so that was definitely a blessing for us. So my mom raised 5 of us by herself. You know, she worked in the factory for like 35 years, and I remember my sisters carting me around because my mom would have to work double shifts and really just pinch pennies. And so, you know, at a young age, I felt like this overwhelming need to help, you know, to help take care of myself. You know, my older brothers, you know, and sisters, they're significantly older, so by the time, you know, I was 8 or 9, they were out of the house, so I was kind of like an only child at that point. And, you know, so I started babysitting early on to help buy clothes for school and the extra things that I wanted to do. And then when I was in high school, I worked as much as I was able to work. And so I could go to cheerleading camp, so I could go to singing camp, so I could, you know, do the things that I wanted to do. And I think that taught me early on a great work ethic. And you know, and I've always wanted to give back to my mom, because my mom totally deserves it. She's one of those people, if she saw somebody in the middle of winter walking down the street without a coat on, she would give them hers. You know, she's always doing for other people, and she never asks anybody for anything, and she doesn't expect anybody to help her with anything, and she will, you know, sit there in pain and not even tell the doctor type of person. So, you know, so that was one of my huge motivations. You know, I worked in the beginning to get my family out of, the economic slump that we were in. And then, it wasn't enough. So I chose to help my mom out because she's raising my niece. And so she was forced to retire when her factory went down to Mexico. So has very little like retirement and things coming in from the government and from her company that she worked for. So I felt that I need to help her because she'd always been there to help me, even if she couldn't afford it, even through college. So I was able to, use my business to become successful, and now I can pay her mortgage, and that has been like a huge thing for me that I'm able to do that for her because she has done so much, and I just want to take care of her. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of the thing that kind of molded my path, and so I think I have a great work ethic. I always have, and I think that came from watching her and learning from her.
Mm-hmm. So, and to answer that question, I think I would have to say something similar. I think it's my family. I think it's the values, how I was raised. My dad, he's my rock. He was my inspiration. And, he owned his own business, and he was quite the entrepreneur himself, in a way. And I think that he always allowed me and the kids to dream big. It wasn't, I was never forced to be something that I wasn't. I think that, I saw as a family, my mom had to, do all the work with the kids and this and that while my dad was pushing so hard to, make our family what it was. And so me being the oldest out of, the kids, I was the one taking responsibility to help, as much as I could. And I've always been driven, to help others. My dad was the most genuine guy you would ever meet in your whole life. I mean, he was willing. Now that he had this business, if someone needed work, you'd say, hey, here, this is what I'm going to do. He was always, lending money without asking for anything in return. A handshake was your word. He didn't need to have it in writing, but he expected it. He expected that back. And, I think a lot of who I am today has a lot to do with him, and he's no longer with us, but I think that, he's another thing that just keeps pushing me, especially in my business it is today. There's going to be tough times, there's going to be hard times, and, just you can't quit, accept that you're just going to, it is what it is. You're doing what you can do as long as you're doing the best you can and pushing yourself daily, you're going to get to where you go. And I think that, and I tried to do that for my kids as well. So he's been a huge inspiration to me, and I don't know, like I said, I can't say enough. He's probably why I am who I am. So I hope that answered that.
Absolutely, definitely. Very cool. So let's jump into and talk about what your businesses are. What inspired you to get started in the particular business that you're in? What is that business, and what do you like about it, and what's kind of challenging and maybe even annoying at times about the businesses that you guys both have?
Who's first, me or you, Anna?
Go for it, Shannon.
Well, I am an independent associate of with a company called ASEA. It's a health and wellness and skincare products, and I actually love what I do. I actually, prior to this, I've been with them for 1.5 years, but it kind of fell in my lap. I wasn't looking for it. I was actually doing really good, and I was successful at another company, but I still didn't have that that drive, that passion, my purpose. I didn't have the purpose. I knew, I was doing well as a businesswoman, but my heart wasn't in it. So when this came, it was, I was presented by a friend of mine, and I thought it was a little crazy because ours, This is a challenge part of maybe ours. It's based on a scientific breakthrough, which is redox signaling molecules. Our products allow the body to self-heal from the inside out and the outside in. The challenge is actually being able to share that with others and letting them wrap their finger around this new breakthrough. So that it takes a little time to talk to people, but I think that the purpose and the ethos and everything that we do, we are changing lives towards better health and wellness. And people are living a happier life because they're feeling good, they're looking good, and you know, it is natural, it's native, and your body needs it. So when I'm working my business, I'm not, you know, it's funny because I don't really think about the financial aspect of it when I'm working my business. I'm working my business as like it's my mission to help people, like maybe that, you know, I'm the answer that they need. This is like something, if someone, you know, has a weak immune system, I feel obligated to open that door for them. And it's not because, I mean, I'm not a pushy person. I'm not, you know, one of those who just slam my product in your face. But I really believe that, you know, it's going to be changing people's lives, and it's going to be changing. I can see it. I can see it in the future that everyone will be having this after they find out what redox signaling molecules is. So, yeah, I think that was that.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, Anna, same question.
Well, Shannon's really great at, I just want to, you know, toot her horn a little bit. She's really great because she cares about her clients and her people so much. It really is her mission to go out there and help people. I never hear anything about money coming out of her mouth. I hear about her changing people's lives. So that's what I love about Shannon.
Oh, I love you.
Thank you. Well, I'm Anna Godfrey. I'm Presidential Diamond with ItWorks Global. I've been in the business for about 4 years. When I found ItWorks, I really wasn't looking for anything, you know, or I wasn't seeking out ItWorks. I was actually with a different company, and I had just been let go of my full-time job while I was on maternity leave. So, and then around that same time, my husband started getting really sick, so he wasn't able to go to work, and life and the economy just kind of came crashing down on us. And so I met the gal that through a meetup group that I joined the company with, and I had no idea who she was. I didn't know anything about the product, and it actually started where I'm from, so nobody had heard about it, and it had been around for a while. So, you know, I was like, oh, there's some opportunity there, and this thing is pretty cool. So I learned about it, and so we have this, our Sizzle, first market Sizzle product is the Ultimate Body Applicator, or the ItWorks wrap. You probably will hear it referred to as a few different things, and it helps to pretty much tighten and tone and firm anywhere you are creative enough to put it. And it's a body wrap, and it's pretty cool. It helps with microcirculation, inflammation, slimming, tightening, toning, firming. You know, it's amazing nutrition for your skin, and it helps to, you know, just put the good stuff into your body from the outside. And we also have amazing nutritional supplements, and our skincare line is amazing. Dr. Luis is like the Willy Wonka of skincare. But you know, I love the products, you know, and I have my favorites. But you know, at some point after, you know, the first 6 months of the business, you start to realize that it was more than just a product. It was more than just a wrap. You know, yeah, we're changing lives, we're helping people, but really, you know, you feel like you found your home. I found my home right away. You know, this is my 4th company, and I've known people who've been in 15 companies before they found their home. And you know, it becomes about the relationships. It becomes about caring about the other person at a genuine, you know, real level. You know, I care about the people on my team. I care about their goals, their dreams, their aspirations. You know, I care about them wanting to change the legacy for their family, and that's what we're doing. We're changing our legacies for our next generations, and it is been such a ride. I know, like, my first 6 months of the business, it's my fourth company, so my contacts were a bit dry, so I had to go out and find all new people, and I know that that's a challenge for a lot of people. And what a lot of people don't realize when they join a company like It Works or like ASEA, everybody joins with a different experience. Everybody joins with a different amount of contacts and networks. Somebody who has owned traditional businesses for 14 years and then comes into It Works, they're obviously going to go faster and harder because they already have 14 years of contacts. And with the network marketing business, it's about making friends and contacts. And you're not going to make the most money from the people you know. It's about the people you don't know yet. And it does take time and patience. And I call it dating people. You got to date people, build some trust up. Really get to know them. That way, when the time is right for them, they're ready to run with you, and they already know you, they already trust you. It doesn't matter if you live in the same city or across the world. But there's lots of challenges. A lot of challenges are finding people and finding the right people. I mean, you can always find people, but you want to find the right people, because when you have the right people with the right commitment, the right vision, then your team works properly. So it's not about quantity. It's about quality, and really developing personally. And I think that's the hardest thing in the business, is your business is only going to grow as far as you are. So people stop at the personal development usually. So they don't take the time to learn the skills that they need and develop personally to move forward and become what their potential, has in store for them. So hopefully they answered your question.
And I want to add something to that if I can, because Anna said it perfectly. I think another frustration with our business, and you kind of nailed it, Anna, was I think people come into a company or a business like ours expecting that you're going to get rich overnight, and they totally don't think about the relationship building. They just take that out and just think that, like, okay, if I can slap something here or make a post with my opportunity, all these people are all of a sudden just going to start joining their team. And it doesn't work like that. You really have to build connections. You have to build relationships, and then you need to be there for those people and help them. I mean, you can only do so much for your team, but they have to be willing to want to do it, and they have to be able to see that vision. And as a leader, you need to give them that vision. But when it comes time to work, if I have to keep asking someone, like, where's your list, or this, and you've asked them like 3 or 4 times and it doesn't happen, then it's like, okay, where are your priorities? I can only help you as you take those steps, as you keep pushing your own limits. You know what I mean? So I think that's just another thing that I mean, you're going to get both. You're going to get all different types of people, but I think that is one of the things that kind of frustrates me, is that they just think that it's just like owed to them, and that's not what it's about at all, at all. So.
Yeah, I don't believe in entitlement. I believe we have to work for what we get, and that's true. You're only going to go as far as you're willing to work for. This isn't an easy business. Nobody ever said it was easy. It's hard because building relationships is hard. It's a people business. You have to be able to build the skills to have conversations with people and, really connect with people at a different level. So.
Oh yeah, I agree, and I think what you're learning is a valuable tool that these days can be used in any business anywhere, because more and more people are doing business with those whom they like, know, and trust. Yep. And with the onslaught of social media, it's so easy to find. Well, it's so easy to do a couple of things. It's easy to find people that you know, like, and trust through social media, but it's also easy if you're a scammer, if you're a schemer and a scammer, man, you will be outed on social media so quickly, it's not even funny, right?
Right. You nailed that.
Yeah, yes. So I'm going to ask one more question, and then I'll let, I know Kit's kind of jumping at the bit, but I have one more question for you guys. So I want to know what each one of your quote unquote superpowers are, and how have you discovered your superpowers, your gift? Because I think a lot of people are challenged. They're so inside their head that they have gifts that can bring the world a whole lot of good, but because they come so naturally to them, you kind of get that feeling of, well, anybody can do this. This is stupid. How can I market this, or how can I, incorporate this into my business? Anybody can do it. But a lot of times your gifts are so innate and come so naturally to you, and they don't to other people, that we kind of lose track of that. So if each one of you could talk to that, that would be awesome.
Okay, I'll go first. Or do you want to go first?
No,
I'll
go for it.
I think that we all are good at a lot of things, and but there's those few superpowers that you can be great at. I think that is the way I found one of mine was actually it was kind of pointed out to me by one of my team members, and I just kind of named it. I call it Spidey sense. We like Spider-Man, but I call it Spidey sense because a few of my team members, they tell me that I have this ability to put something out there when they need it without them having to tell me. Like I can just sense what they need, and just by and I look through a few different factors to try to figure out what people need, and and then I try to put what they need out there for them. Whether it's training or popping in and checking in on them like at the right moment. And I think that in a business like this, you have to be able to know what your, if you're in social media, know what your followers' needs are. That way you can tailor your content to it. And it's the same thing with building a team and, kind of sensing what your team needs at the moment, or different parts of your teams, because everybody are in a different part of the business, and putting that out there and trying to fulfill it. As a leader, you have to be able to, lead by example, but also kind of meet some of those other like leadership training needs. So I'll just say Spidey sense. So everybody hashtag Spidey sense.
So for me, I think that, I think the thing with me is, and we say this a lot, is be honest, be true, be you. And I think that I'm really good at, and I don't know how I acquired it, but I feel, I'm good at maybe like inspiration and encouragement. And I think that, someone was there helping me, and I feel like I need to pass that forward. Because I don't think enough people believe in themselves to, they need that encouragement, and they need that support. And I'm not saying that I never need it, because that would be a total lie, but I also am very positive, and I try to keep things upbeat. And when I'm working on social media, I do the same thing. I'm a reflection of me. If I'm doing a post and it has something to do with success, or whether it be something deeper than that, I'm still staying genuine to me, but I'm still reaching my audience too. And I try to give bits and pieces of me, like sprinkle everything around that is a reflection of me. But I think my biggest thing is I really try to inspire other people. If I can do it, so can you. I'm no better than you are, but I think some people just need that push. And I think that, people push me. I think I should give it back. So
I just want to roll off of that a little bit. I think the reason why Shannon and I make a really good team is because everybody needs those big sisters that believe in them. And I think that's what we are. Mm-hmm. I'm like fierce with focus, and Shannon is inspirational with her words and encouraging. And I think, like she said before, some people just need that, and they may not be getting that from somebody else in their life. There may be something that you want to do, no matter what it is, and you have those naysayers, those villains in your life that, they were never successful at anything, so why should you be? Mm-hmm. And so people need those big sisters to believe in them. And I think that's why we make a good team.
Absolutely. And that's why you love social media, right? I'm not good at everything, but I surround myself with people that are good at the same things, you know, that I strive to be. I become like this sponge, and I want to absorb it and soak it all in, and then I take their skills and I try to do mine, and then I try to improve, and it's like that's what you're supposed to do. I mean, even though I'm out there, not everyone I socialize with is on my team. That's not what it is about. Everyone is an entrepreneur out there, you know, making their own way, doing their own thing, but everyone has their skills to get there. And I think if people didn't see it as so much as a cat fight between businesses and actually say, hey, I could help you out with this, or hey, I could help you out with this, it would be a greater place. But, and that's what I try to do. I try to surround myself with the people that you can grow from, so.
Excellent. That is so awesome. You guys are awesome. Love you guys. Hey, Kit, so I know you're kind of chomping at the bit. Why don't you jump in here?
You kept me silent for 32 minutes. Do you know how hard that is for me?
I get some sort of award for that. Do you know what I mean? I get a bonus.
Yeah, my husband wants to know the secret.
Right.
Because he cannot shut me up even for 30 seconds, so, yeah. No, but as for Shannon being inspiring, oh yeah. I'm actually so surprised she's still my friend because I bug her so much. You have no idea. You have no idea. I bug her so much. I mean, I've said this to her before, and I will say it out loud again. She is as important to me as the next breath I take. That's how much she means to me, seriously. And in fact, when I was telling my husband, he was like, I actually decked up and I was doing this, like, why are you decking up like this today? He's like, Shannon is coming on the show. Like, Shannon, your friend Shannon. Like, yeah. Because he knows how close she is to me, and I keep talking to her about it. So, yeah, I mean, absolutely. She's an inspirational guru. All right. But there are so many things that you talked about that really resonated with me. One was to go back to your families. I know with Anna, your dad was not a good role model, but your mom was the most amazing kind of role model you could ever have. And with Shannon, it was the opposite. It was a dad that was her primary role model, and that kind of reminded me of my childhood because, you know, we were in a much better position in that my dad had a good career. He was managing a big firm, but he had all the perks. You know, he was chauffeur-driven cars, and we had the biggest house. But not once did he ever make us a part of those perks. That is, he said, okay, these are things for me. I don't want you guys to take advantage of my position. Okay, I want you to go out and make your own way in the world. And so he used to send us, and we used to go with everyone else in the bus with others because he wanted us to socialize with people. So I think family just plays such a primary role in kind of honing your work ethics and just your personality. So I think that was just amazing. When you're talking about work-life balance, I think every parent should remember that their child they just soak you up completely. I mean, they absorb everything you say, and it's so important to lead by example and give them the best childhood that you can ever give. And like on Facebook today, I saw somebody who said, before you can succeed, you got to figure out why you're succeeding. What is your why? What is your unique why? It's not just that I want to change the world. It's what is your unique why? And I think you guys answered perfectly. You know, for both of you, for you, it's that I want to take care of my family, and I want to give my mom the kind of love that she never got. The kind of, I mean, she never asked for anything, and I want to give her. I want her to take things now, not just give things to me. That, I think, is a very powerful why for you to do what you're doing. And Shannon, for you, it's your family, it's your rock stars, your kids, and I think your sons are adorable. I've seen them a lot of times. I've seen your pictures. But so I think having that powerful why is so important if you really want to succeed in business. Wouldn't you agree? I mean, you got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Mm-hmm. You don't just get up and do it because you're supposed to do it. You got to do it because you want to do it, that you cannot live without doing it. For me, it's writing. If I don't write well for one day, I feel like my whole life is like, oh my God, what's going on? Like yesterday was a bad day for me because I was not feeling well and I was not able to get out the words, and I was like, what am I doing? There's no purpose in my life. So that is kind of like your why for me, is that it's really so important to me that I cannot live a day without doing it. So would you say that business owners must first, even before they can start their businesses and go about taking care of all the technical details, figure out why they're doing what they're doing?
Mm-hmm. I agree. Oh, sorry. I'll go.
No, go ahead.
I agree 100%. I mean, you got to find your why, but I think that, and Anna said something a little bit earlier, you got to find your passion, where you fit in. You have to be passionate about what you're doing because you want to be able to wake up. If you can wake up and love what you do, it's not really work. It's work, but it's not work. You love it. You enjoy doing it. You get out there, and like in my case, yes, my why are the boys, it's the family, and they motivate me. But I was just fortunate that I found a company that I became passionate about, and so I'm grateful for that every day. That, I mean, you never know when opportunities knock. I wasn't looking for it. It actually fell in my lap, and after meeting with the people and talking with everyone and my team, and I see their passion and their ethos, you do become that, and you become that because you love what you're doing. You're making an impact, a difference, a purpose. It's like a calling. You know what you're supposed to do. And so, and it's also, if you're passionate about what you're doing, you're going to have those days that are like, oh my gosh, it was a bad day, but you continue to go. You continue to move forward. And those bad days turn into good days, and days to come. Because you're not going to give up on something that you love, So.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree with Shannon. I think that in my experience, the people who do the best in their business, they have strong, stable organizations. They are so connected to their why. They know why they're doing this. They know what motivates them, and it just drives them. When you try to figure out why you're doing something, you have to connect with it emotionally. It has to make you want to cry. If you don't want to cry because you have to do it for this reason, it's not strong enough, and you need to dig deeper. And another thing that my team is really big on is the vision boards, because it's not only important to know why you're doing it, but you need to know what you're working towards as well. Because if you don't have that vision of the bigger picture, if you don't feel that you deserve something more, then why are you doing it again? Again, it all has to intermingle. Your why it's driving you right at this moment, but what you're working for. And in those bad days, like Shannon was talking about, you have something else to focus on, and that there is a bigger picture. There's nothing like sitting at a table with several of your distributors or team members or team family, and hearing them talk about the impact that they want to make, the things that they want for their family, the things that they want for themselves that they never thought they could deserve for themselves, and everybody's crying because we deeply care about each other's visions and goals and whys, and and I think when you can share it with everybody and put it up all around your house and like mirrors and stuff, it becomes deeper and more important.
And the other thing that I really liked about what you were talking about is to believe in what you're doing, and that you might be passionate about network marketing, but if you do not believe in the product that you are supporting, it's never going to work out. So like celebrities, for example, they go on these commercials, and you can actually see which celebrity believes in the product and which one does not, just because of the way they act. It's for me, I listen to people very carefully, so I'm very curious to know, okay, why did this person use this word instead of that word? Why did she move her eyebrows like that? And I love expressions and gestures and words, and so So if Shannon did not believe in her product, she will not be able to succeed in it, no matter how passionate she's about network marketing. So I think that's the other thing that business owners must realize, is that not just why you're doing it, but do you really believe in the product? Don't just, because a lot of people, I think, I'm not a business owner, but what I've seen or what I've talked to people, a lot of people just want to, copy the more successful ones and like, oh, this product worked really well for this person, so I'm going to do the same thing, and then they figure out this does not work out for them. And it's not like they don't have the passion, it's that the product just did not speak to them. So,
yeah, I need to tell you about my three-legged stool of belief.
Hey, wait a minute. Let me jump in real quick. Hold that thought real quickly. So we have a question from one of our viewers. So how do you find your true passion if you have many passions? That's my struggle. Some of it is writing, running, music, law, etc. Too many choices almost. So I'll jump in here just real quickly. I think it's good that you have multiple passions. I think that's a much better problem than not being able to find any passions, is having multiple ones. So I think one of the things you need to consider is which one of them can I. Okay, if you're thinking about business and going into business, and you want to follow your passion into business, I think one of the questions you have to ask yourself is, which one of these passions can I monetize, and which one, if I do monetize, will I stick to my guns and push through? So that's one kind of that's my kind of viewpoint. What do the rest of you guys think?
Well, I think that you can be really good at a lot of things, but you can only be great at one. And I think it's about focus, and like you said, what you can focus on your time and put your energy into, and what you can, monetize and be passionate about all the time. Because I like to paint too, and I like to sing, I like to do theater, I like to do a lot of things, but I found in my business that I'm really great at being a leader. I'm really great at inspiring people. I'm really great at coaching people to be great. So I mean, there's so many things out there that you can be really good at and that you like to do, but you have to find that one thing, because it's better to be great at one thing and be known as that person and find that niche, than to be less than mediocre at several things, or mediocre at several things. So, it really is about focus. Sometimes you just have to kind of choose and run with it, and but make sure it's like, the broader it is, the more people out there that are going to do it. So, like you said something about law, narrow down the focus. Find that specific part about the law that you enjoy and that you can embrace. We do podcasting, and I'm in this podcasting community, and there are podcasters who podcast about law. So that's kind of the thing that they love to do. They like to take their passion for the law and put it out there in that sort of form. So, but you got to really narrow down and focus. Focus is a huge thing.
Sorry. I think, to answer that, I kind of was similar to where you were, years ago. I think you're like pulling strings. You have a lot of things. I mean, prior to what I'm doing now, I'm a photographer, and I was a wardrobe stylist, and I love those things. I mean, I'm passionate about those too. So when I decided that, okay, I'm giving that up, I'm not going to monetize that anymore, I'm moving on to something different, and my reason, once again, was my why. I needed to spend more time with my boys, so I had to figure something out. So as I started, I guess you say, soul searching, you really start to begin to find out what you really like, what you're about. And, like I said, my opportunity came up, and now that I'm on social media, it's great because, yes, maybe I gave up some of my things for a year, and now I'm with my company and I'm running my business, but I still get to incorporate, photography. I still surround myself around photography and healthy food, and so I'm not giving that out, and I'm still sharing those kinds of things with people. So it might take a while to figure out what you're truly passionate about, But you really got to wrap yourself and be committed to the one thing, and then just know that in time, you know, it's not like you're giving it up. I think that some people are just like, oh my gosh, I'm giving it up, and I'm closing that door. You don't have to close the door. You just need to refocus, regroup, focus on that one thing that's going to take you farther, and then you can start incorporating those things back in. I think that's what most people are scared of when they're like, oh, I need to find that one thing that's passionate, that I'm passionate about a lot of things. But, you know, you just need to focus on that one.
Yeah, you need that thing needs to fill you up, but also you have to think about others as well. Are you being positive and progressive, and are you impacting others in that positive, progressive way? You know, how can your thing help change something, impact people positively? Are you making your dent in the world? So that was just afterthought.
I absolutely like the give it time part, because it takes, and this is something I read in an article, because the same question was posed to this writer, and he said, if you have multiple passions, try dedicating like 1 month to each passion. Like, don't do anything else. Just focus on that one passion and see which month are you most happiest in. Which month do you wake up every day and want to look forward to it? Because there's like Anna said, you might have multiple hobbies, but that one calling is that just truly like tugs at your heart. That is something that if you just give it time and give it complete focus, you'll be able to figure it out. So I thought that was a really good tip in that, you know, just take a month or 2 months. I know it's going to take time, but take 2 months. Just like if you want to be a writer, just write. Give your everything to writing for like 2 months, and then, you know, do something with law if you're interested in law. Like Anna said, focus. I mean, law is a big field, so focus what you liked about law. Try to figure out, explore that career, and see whether that pumps you up. And then it'll be a lot easier to figure out, and maybe you can then prioritize, saying, okay, fine, this is what I enjoyed the most, this is what I didn't enjoy the most, and then kind of vet it out like slowly but surely. So it might take you like a year, but it's well worth the time to do that assignment, I think.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
And even like within writing, for example, I like writing, but I'm trying to figure out what kind of writing I like to do the most. And that itself is a process for me, because I'm slowly figuring out that I like writing for myself more than I like writing for others. So when I write for others, I feel this sudden pressure in my head, because I know I'm not using my voice. I'm trying to like please somebody else. So when you write for yourself, and that's why I do like the blog challenge and everything, because it gives me a break and it lets me write for myself. And I don't have to worry about writing for anyone else, and I'm just completely me, and that just flows a lot better for me. So for me too, even for writers, for lawyers, it's dig deeper. Once you figure out what's your passion, you then dig deeper. And so it takes time, but I think that's the reason most people opt for traditional careers, because it just seems easier. But if you just sit with the discomfort for a little bit, you might actually have a much happier future than just settling for what is best for today.
You know, and I think with your writing that you should write for yourself, because I think in the long run you're going to have the people who follow you, they're going to have that deeper connection to you because they can relate to you. And I think being relatable all the time is so important, because there comes to a point where people become unrelatable, and then other people don't feel that they can achieve that because they're not relatable anymore. And I think if you're writing for yourself, you're going to find those people who connect with you in the way that you want them to connect with you.
I agree.
Yeah, totally. Great advice, guys. Hey, so I want to steer the ship in a little bit different direction. Let's talk for a minute. You guys have a podcast. So I want to talk for a minute about your podcast. What inspired you? How did you come together? What's it all about? What's the premise? What's the goal? What's your mission with the podcast?
Well, I started the podcast actually before Shannon joined. It was like for months and months I saw John Lee Dumas on a hangout, and then, you know, a few months later he was offering his course, and I'm like, I should just do it. You know, there's not a ton of really like known and prominent women in it right now, and I think that it's an up and coming like niche thing, and it's a different audience, and I think it's a way for us to put ourselves out there, and it's a great branding, and it's fun. And so I started, with this leadership theme because that's my thing, is leadership, and I was always doing calls and things for my team, and I'm like, well, why not expand it so it benefits other people as well, not just my team, because it's not everything's about me, it's about everybody else. And so I had Shannon on one day, and Shannon and I have always had this weird connection since we met in January. Everybody called us the twins because we'll sit there and we giggle for hours at nothing, but we have the same ideas, the same focus, the same goals, the same aspirations. Yes, we're in two different companies, but we genuinely care about each other's success. So she was on, and I just liked having her on, and and we kind of made it a permanent thing, So. And why do you do it, Shannon?
I do it. I was honored when, she asked me to be on. I was like, okay, I had never done a podcast really before, but I was like, oh yeah, this is pretty cool. I don't have to actually get up and put makeup on. That's a bonus. But I think that, once I was on the first show, I already knew it was going to run smoothly, just because it's like we bounce back off of each other. And I think that, like, our audience, our goal isn't like I said, it's not about our businesses. It's about how do you get your business to explode if you are in a type of company like ours. It's a lot of different topics, and I think that that's great to help empower other people to go further, and some tips and tricks, but yet make it fun. And so I do it so that we can reach out to other people, and I love that feeling. I like helping others. So.
Yeah, and we also throw things in there that we just like. We're social media geeks. We're definitely Google geeks for sure, and we like to throw tips out there because not everybody has the time to sit there and learn it like we did. And so if we can throw something out there to help somebody, that's great. So
yeah.
Hey, so both of you said that you're really into social media. So maybe could you talk to that a little bit? Talk to the social media aspect of what you're doing a little bit, and maybe give our viewers some tips and tricks that you guys can think of right off the top of your head for social media.
I'll go real quick. I think the biggest thing I could ever say to anybody is just be honest, be true, be you, be yourself, and represent yourself right. I think that, I see so many people, don't be fake, communicate with the people, engage. If people are liking and sharing your stuff, go ahead and, thank them for it, have respect for each other, and learn and grow from each other. But I think that's the thing. And if you're in a company, don't spam like crazy. You're not selling your product, you are selling you. And I do share my opportunity, but I am sharing so much other content and stuff. So I'm just saying, don't overdo that. Just stick and find your way. Like, people will probably start noticing a lot of my stuff is either, it's about me. It's either inspiration, photography, health, wellness, and I try to surround myself with like-minded people, and I think that's the hardest thing for people on social media is building those relationships, but that's what social media is about. So if you're not communicating and engaging, then social media is not going to work for you. But, if you take the time to sort out and connect with people, communicate, talk, chat on, you're going to go far. But the biggest thing is just be honest to who you are and stay true to yourself.
Perfect. And what are your favorite platforms, social media platforms? Where are you at?
Well, I'll talk about this one. I think that there's a lot of platforms out there. They all have different types of users, and I think it's important to have a little bit of a presence on a lot of them. That way people can find you wherever. But I feel like you need to really hone in on the one that you love, the one that you're going to do the best at, and really, you can be like, like I know that if you go on my Google Plus, it's probably going to have a little more quality to it because I love Google Plus. I love it. I love the people here. Again, it's a home for me, and I can relate to people. And so find that one that's really good, or that you really love, and be really good at that one, because you can't be great at everything. But Google Plus is my thing because I feel like I've made way more connections here because I feel like it's more of an open platform, so you have more of an opportunity to do that, to meet people that you don't know, and I've made more friends like across seas than I would have on some of the other platforms. And I don't know, I just feel like there's a lot more like-minded people here for me, and everybody seems to be really supportive, so I really love the people here. And then I just love social media just because it makes the world a lot smaller.
Oh,
go for it, Shannon.
Oh, it's my turn. Yeah, so I would say, like Anna said, I'm pretty much everywhere. You can find me everywhere. I'm not as active on some other platforms. I would say Google Plus definitely is top ranking for me, and then I do Facebook. And they both work really well. Oh, and Pinterest. I'm starting to become a really big Pinterest geek. And I love it.
Pinterest is great for traffic driving too. So if you're a blogger, it's a great traffic driver.
Yeah, so those three are my main kind of focus, but Google Plus would be one, Facebook two, and then Pinterest. But like I said, I love the people on Google Plus. They seem to be more genuine and true, and there's so much more that you can find, I think, on Google Plus than you can on Facebook. But I know Anna uses it, Friends Plus Me. I've been noticing since I've been using Friends Plus Me, it just takes the stuff from Google over to Facebook, which is nice. And like at least with my, circles that I have in Facebook, my following is starting to change a little bit with that. So I think that was a really nice thing to see in Facebook.
Yeah, I definitely think Friends Plus Me has really helped my Facebook because it is. And then I feel like people are, like, the different users are coming out on my Facebook because you know how Facebook hides everything.
Right.
And so like, the people that relate to the stuff that I'm into, they're starting to come up more. So I really think that the Friends Plus Me really has changed my Facebook a little bit.
Yeah, I agree with that. So I was impressed to see that. So I like that a lot. So.
We actually had the founder of Friends Plus Me on our show, right, Jim?
Yes, we did.
Yes, yeah. Yeah, it was a really good show. He was a very sweet guy, and it was funny because he was like, I started this tool because I was feeling lazy.
It's a time saver for me. I love it. I would kiss them. I think he has done amazing because you can just post it all to your social medias, and it's still genuine because you're doing it at that time, but everybody's getting it, and I love it. It's a time saver.
Yeah, it's made my Twitter better too. My Twitter followers love it better. Love it.
Yeah, but one thing that I would say is even if you're using Friends Plus Me or any automated tool, you have to engage.
Yes.
Like if you see Shannon, I know she adds a lot of Friends Plus Me, but she always responds to your comments. If you thank her, she'll thank you back. So you don't just use Friends Plus Me and forget about it. If you're on your following, you got to really engage. If you are on a platform, you better engage. If not, just don't be on the platform. It's fine. If you don't like the platform, don't be on it. That's totally fine. But if you're on it, and if you want to make a mark, you better engage. And in fact, with Pinterest, I will give you a tip. So anytime you're adding a pin, just post it to Facebook and Twitter. And especially Twitter, my God, my following increased a lot after that. Because it's just a very simple way to connect Pinterest and Twitter.
Yeah.
So
good. Nice tip. I like that.
Yeah, that really did increase. And I see a lot of like relevant people are following me now. People like writing or content marketing, blogging, branding, stuff like that. Not just random people. You know, I used to like to be followed by some weird. And I didn't know the right way to form connections on Twitter. So I was like, why am I following this yoga instructor? I don't even do yoga. So,
we all have to find our way somehow.
Yeah, and I have to start using lists. I've not started using Twitter lists. I heard Twitter lists are really good.
I haven't gotten that far yet.
No way. Twitter is probably my lowest. Like, I can't wrap my head around how to engage in there. I don't know. It's just me, though. And, it's just one of those ones that are harder for me. But
Oh, I do have a Twitter, Instagram tip. Make sure your handle is the same.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, like, I'm at Anna Godfrey Live on Twitter, and I'm at Anna Godfrey Live on Instagram. That way, when you post, it intermingles better.
Yeah. Oh, Instagram, I don't get that. I have fat fingers. I'm not a mobile application person at all. Yeah. I wish to get a desktop version. I'll be a lot happier. because it's a really good platform. I like Instagram. I know there are very innovative ways in which, especially for a photographer. I think it's a really good platform, and I don't get it. I don't even take good pictures, and Shannon knows that.
Oh, you're getting better. Goodness gracious.
Just ask my puppy. He's like so mad because you see black. You don't see anything.
But you follow the light. How many times do I need to tell you that? Follow the light.
I didn't know that the light is to fall on you. I was like sitting. The light is falling on my back. And I'm like, why am I not seeing? So my husband looked at me like, do I really have to answer that? Okay. You're smart enough. Average IQ, figure it out. So
that is hilarious. Before you know it, you're going to be a pro photographer, just like your blogging. You rock at blogging, so your writing is exceptional.
Oh God,
it is. You totally shine. When you read your stuff, you actually. It's like, I don't know, it's almost like music. You get to see you, but you get like this whole emotion into it. I love it. It's a reflection of you. Yeah.
Hey, I have one fan. Just
oh dear.
That's all it takes is one. That's all it takes is one fan. It starts with one. Hey, we are. A big fan. Time flew by. We're out of time. Wow. Yeah. What I'd like to do is just hit everybody up for last thoughts. Unfortunately, we didn't get too much into the work-life balance, so we're definitely going to have you guys back.
Yeah.
Get into that more, but I think we had a very timely discussion, very business-centric. There were a ton of nuggets. People out there, viewers, if you were paying attention, a ton of really great information from these two, so you might want to go back and replay it and listen again to some of the golden nuggets that were out there. But in closing, Shannon, we'll start with you. Any closing thoughts, any words of wisdom that you'd like to leave us with today, and how can people find you?
I think that, like I said, I'm an inspiration junkie. I wish I would have thrown out a quote or something, but I didn't. But I would just say, follow your passion, follow your heart, stay true to yourself, and don't beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up if you can't find it right now. It's going to happen. Just stick with it, and you're going to prevail. I mean, vision is a big thing. See what you want in your head, and then go get it. So, find me. You can find me on social media. Circle me up. I'm everywhere. So I would just say, I encourage you to find me, add me as a friend, circle me, and of course our network marketing girls too. So join our podcast, and that's it, I guess, from me. And thank you for all tuning in, joining, and thank you for having us on the show. That was a lot.
That was awesome. Hey, Anna, throwing it over to you, Anna.
Well, like Shannon said, you can find me on social media. And AnnaGodfrey.com is my website, one of my blogs. So our podcast links are on my blog too. So if you go to AnnaGodfrey.com and join our email list on there as well, you'll get a PDF copy of the first version of my superhero leadership book for joining our email list. So again, inagodfrey.com and social media. Thanks for having us.
Oh, you're welcome. You are so welcome. Kit?
You know, I've never seen Jim. I've never seen Jim so like lost and just rebutted to a guest like he's been to both of you. He's like just soaking in all your knowledge. But yeah, I actually bought your book, Anna. I bought it on Amazon, actually. Yeah. And I really love one thing that I have to throw out, what she says. She says a true leader leads to his greatest moral capability, or something like that, right? So I think that's what I would say, like Shannon says, be true, be you. And when you connect on social media, please don't connect with somebody just because they're popular. Connect with someone because you can really relate to that person, because I mean, Save Garden did not become Save Garden by connecting to other Save Gardens. He became Save Garden because he wrote. Okay, so, and his style was unique. So find your style, find your passion, take your time, and keep watching Get Busy.
The best advice of the day, Kit. Keep watching Get Busy. Yeah.
You find a bald man and a short-haired girl, so.
So hey, Dream audience, thank you once again for tuning in to another great edition of Get Busy. Join us next week at the same time, same place, same location. Don't have a guest aligned just yet, but we're going to brainstorm for a couple minutes right after the show. So again, thank you everybody. Another great show. Thank you, Shannon. Thank you, Anna. As always, thank you, Kit. And we'll definitely have you guys back if you'd like to come back.
Absolutely.
Awesome. And we'll see everyone next week. Thank you, guys.